Howdy. So I am going to try something a little bit different this time. I actually have a upgrade kit for this Ultra Magnus. So this was made by DNA Design. It's the DK14K War for Cybertron, and I believe this S13 that's on here, that was actually the Siege number. So in terms of the Transformers trilogy that they're doing right now, there was Siege, Earthrise, and then they're on Kingdom right now. So there was a Siege version, but now we're on the K. And basically what this was is a lot of people didn't like the size of this Ultra Magnus. They said that he was a little too short. So this is actually a set of legs and then an axe and a hammer. So I think it only adds like an inch or two to his height, but that makes all the difference, I guess. So in terms of comparison, I got him here next to, here is the War for Cybertron Kingdom Galvatron, and in terms of their size comparison, he's a little bit taller, but I mean they're almost eye to eye. If you count these little turret things on the top of Galvatron, he's got them by a couple millimeters, compared to the smokestacks. So I don't know exactly what the scale was supposed to be. I don't even remember if Ultra Magnus and Galvatron even interact at all in the War for Cybertron series, so I can't remember. But I'm gonna open this up, and then we'll do a little height comparison, and we'll see how this turns out. One thing I am gonna do, just so that we can, I don't have two copies of this figure, so I think this figure cost $45 or $50. So I don't have two copies of them, so I'm not gonna be able to actually do a side-by-side comparison. So what I figured I'd do is I do the classic childhood dream where you go up here, and let's see if I can get it. See if we can get just his height on this box. That's pretty good. So I marked it right at the, I don't know what you call it, his antenna. I'm sure that's not the proper term. But what I'll do is I'll get a measurement on this, and then I'll take him out of the, I don't even know what you call these, little parts former armor, and I'll do another one just without his armor on, and we can compare it that way as well. And here he is without the armor on. So he is actually quite a bit shorter without it. So you can see right there, that's where he was with the armor. And then if I can get this one, we'll try to do it right at the antenna as well. There we go. Be good enough. So break out the ruler. Oh, dropped him. So we're looking at about 6.5 inches, and then what is that? About almost 7 3/4 inches tall. So not too bad. We'll swap to a different color marker whenever we swap out these legs. So fresh out of the package, this is one of the legs. So this one, and they're actually marked, which is pretty handy. This is the left leg. So if we compare it, let's see, there we go. So it is definitely a little bit longer than the factory leg. So you do take the wheels off, and you pop them in on here. So there are some parts that basically go from the original to the new one. The kind of interesting thing about this, which I didn't actually know about, this actually, I guess, compresses down into a makeshift version. Oh, makeshift. Let's see if I can pop this apart. It's a little tricky at first, but you can actually, let's see if I got it. It's kind of a little snug. There we go. You kind of hear it click into place, but let's see if it took me a second to get it the first time. Almost. Okay, there we go. And that is actually, I believe this would be, the same size as the factory leg. So actually, I think I said that this is the left leg, so it'll actually go right here. But pretty interesting. So in terms of the difference in paint application, this is just a white, and this is molded in. This one, if you can see it, it's actually got a little bit of silver across right here, a little bit of silver right there, and I believe whenever you flip it, there's a little bit of silver right there, and then this folds down. Okay, so for leg removal, I believe this is the best way to do it. So it's a little mushroom peg, I think is what they call it, and you can just kind of take it and then just work it, and it comes off. Yeah, this was the left leg. So let's see if we can get this one on. So it should just be the same thing. Just kind of work it. Ooh, there. Did I get it? I believe I got it. So for the second one, kind of the same thing. Just work it. All right, I got them on. That was, like I said, that was definitely easier to get the original ones off than it was to get these replacement ones on. But now that it's on, I don't think we've lost too much range of motion. The only thing I can think of, which I'm not sure what this is, I don't know if the instructions say, but I believe that is a little bit worse mobility. So but I mean, are you gonna be doing any sort of posing like that? Little starfish type pose. So we'll throw him up here real quick. Ooh, interesting. So let's get him standing up straight. So if I am eyeballing that, it looks like he might be a little bit shorter with these shortened legs, or with these longer legs on, but in the shortened position. So that's interesting. Let's see if we can do the extension on this real quick. Get this going. So it folds out, and then it clips in, and then you bring this down, and then it clips in that way as well. So see, it tabs in, and then there's the difference right there. So that is definitely a little bit of a little height advantage. So let's see, is he taller now? Yeah, he's a little bit taller now. He's a little bit taller than that. Let's mark him now that we've got these taller legs on. So stand him up straight. No tiptoes. That's cheating. Got the silver Sharpie this time. And let's see. There we go. So let's see what we got. So we were right at 6.5 with the original right here. And then we're a little bit over 7 now. So I guess that's what would that be, 3/4 of an inch taller? Okay, so he's got his armor attachments, and then I've got the hammer and the axe attached with his original rifle attached to his gauntlets. So you've got some pretty interesting ways that you can kind of set this up. The pegs on these do allow for them to attach to his gun. I think I watched one video about this, and somebody said that their hammer and axe, they didn't sit real well, they were a little bit floppy. That doesn't seem to be the case on this. I don't know what version he had. I think the video I saw was a couple months old, so maybe the DNA Designs altered the molding of this a little bit, just to make it a little bit thicker, make that peg a little bit thicker, and kind of keep everything in line. So, but I mean, these are pretty cool. The only thing that I do have kind of a minor complaint about is with the hammer, you have this little peg, but it's on the side where you can set this, to the front, or you set it behind it so that it's, you know, facing this way, and then, you know, you can't really see it, so you can kind of angle it. You can't really do that with this one unless you're doing something like this, which I think looks kind of goofy if it's an axe. So I sort of wish that there was a, you know, there was a kind of a fix for that. Like maybe if they had made this a little bit pivotable, like made this pivotable, you know, you could have had it setting like this and then have the axe, you know, facing this way. But like I said, that's a minor gripe. It's not anything too crazy. But let's see if we can get him lined up and see how much taller he is. Do it from the top. Okay. Bring him down. So that is a little bit taller. Even with that, I mean, it's probably almost the exact same. So he was right at about 7 3/4. Now he's at almost exactly 8 1/4. So about half an inch taller. Let's see if we can get him with Galvatron again. Now there is a size difference, a much more noticeable size difference with this. So I mean, I'm pretty satisfied with this purchase. I think this was $25. So I mean, it brings the total cost of the figure up to, you know, 75-ish. Kind of depends on, you know, if you had to pay for shipping or anything like that. I do believe I had to pay $3 or $4 shipping from a Big Bad Toy Store. I don't know if I actually mentioned that that's where I got this from, but that is where I got this from. So one other thing I wanted to show real quick, you know, I was kind of like gushing over this. I mean, even whenever you bend the knee, that, you know, you're not going to have to worry about, you know, this like flexing and bending weird. I mean, they really did a good job with this. So I'm pretty stoked about it. The only other little minor gripe is the leg, this little leg piece. It fits, but at the same time, whenever you, if it doesn't get in there exactly right, it tries to pop out. So, you know, but it's not a huge deal, and it's in there. But like I said, if you kind of wiggle it a little bit, it'll just pop off. Like I said, I'll put a link for this down below if you're interested in it. You know, like I said, you are going to have this figure. Oh, did I do this wrong? No, I don't think I did. There we go. You are going to have this figure. He's kind of been popping in and out. I can't remember if he gets packaged with Galvatron or not. But so if you see a Galvatron, you know, he might be lurking somewhere in the back. But yeah, like I said, there was a lot of complaints I saw about this figure online, and I didn't get the Siege version of this, so I didn't have any, you know, I didn't have a horse in that fight. I think people like the Siege one better, but I never saw it, so I'm kind of like, I don't even know what I'm missing out on. So, all right, well, I will see you next time.